Having just opened in theaters nationwide July 6th, the question on the mind of almost every fan of the MCU is, are there plans for a third installment to the Ant-Man franchise? Although it's honestly too soon to even begin to know for sure, you can pretty much bet it will hinge on the current sequel's weekend box office take. As with any movie tied to the MCU, it's a sure bet that Ant-Man and the Wasp will do well. However, will it do enough to warrant the production of a third chapter? We already know that Captain Marvel and Avengers 4 will wrap up the third phase of the MCU timeline, originally laid out by Kevin Feige, president of Marvel Studios years ago. With the exception of a few hiccups, the then considered to be a little too ambitious a plan played out like the studios had anticipated. We also know that Spider-Man: Far From Home will kick off Phase 4, but what we don't know is anything after Spider-Man. Marvel Studios has yet to make a grand announcement, as they did with Phase 1 through 3. Some speculate that they don't even know themselves where they are taking the franchise, so how can they let us know? It has been announced there will be a Black Panther 2, as well as a Guardians of the Galaxy 3, so we know there will be a Phase 4, as well as knowing there has to be some sort of plan in place. What that plan is, who knows? Keeping in mind that there is a Phase 4, there is no guarantee that the new phase will contain but a few more entries into the MCU franchise. Some speculate that it is quite possible that the MCU may very well be coming to an end on the big screen, as it seems that from their recent partnership with Disney, they may be planning to make a jump to TV. So that brings us back to the question, will there be an Ant-Man 3? If you were to consider that the MCU has one of the most loyal fan bases in the universe, and the fact that the fan base demands sequel after sequel, then we would say yes, there would definitely be a third installment. However, the fans do not make the final decision, sad as the reality may be. If we do get an Ant-Man 3, what would the storyline possibly contain? First off, we know that it would probably show how Scott escapes the quantum realm, unless that's shown and featured in Avengers 4, which honestly, I have a pretty good feeling it will. Could the storyline possibly pick up after the events of Avengers 4, such as stated with Spider-Man: Far From Home? There are sure to be far-reaching ramifications of the storyline featured in the ensemble movie, as rumors seem to indicate that there may be one, if not more, major character deaths. Couple that with the announcement that both Ant-Man and the Wasp will be appearing in next year's Avengers, Ant-Man 3 could possibly feature how Scott and Hope were affected by their participation, thus determining how they continued their own roles as superheroes. Lastly, one possibility is that the character of Janet Van Dyne will feature heavily into the Ant-Man 3 storyline, along with her new quantum-based healing abilities. There are so many ways that the sequel could go, each new possibility even more exciting than the last. At this point, fans will have to shift into a wait-and-see mode, because if there is a sequel, odds are that we won't see it until at least 2020 or beyond. Do you think there is a possibility of an Ant-Man 3? What do you think is in store for our hero? Will the sequel storyline be highly influenced by Avengers 4? Comment below with your thoughts.